So no matter how much you prepare for these type of events, some tragedies are unavoidable.
Yeah, first responders down in Wilmington, North Carolina know that firsthand after a mother and her infant died right in front of them when a tree crashed into their home. That was during Hurricane Florence. I remember it well. 10 News reporter Shane Dwyer was on the scene in September, and now he's there live tonight.
So Shane, this is still weighing on that community months later.
Lindsay and John, yes, it was myself, Jessica Jewell, and the rest of our 10 News team that was down here in Wilmington for Hurricane Florence when we came upon that scene where all the firefighters were. It truly was a very tragic incident and made national headlines throughout the world as kind of the incident of Hurricane Florence. And for firefighters that were there, that was a very serious call that they dealt with. It was an eerie morning. The eye wall had just come through. The rain and the wind was starting to pick back up, and you could just tell that people were devastated. So as they look toward hurricane season this upcoming season, they are not going to forget what they dealt with last season. Wilmington firefighters broke their own rules during Hurricane Florence and never stopped responding. This call, however, to Mercer Avenue was one they hoped they wouldn't have to do.
I don't think anything they could have done would have saved the two people that died. And I think everything they did saved the one person that they saved.
Fire Chief Buddy Martinet says high winds kept blowing this massive tree around after it fell onto the home, making it difficult to save Dad and impossible to save Mom and baby, all pinned underneath.
I think if you were to go back and ask people, does it still bother them? Yeah, you can obviously see it bothers me still.
Firefighters dropped to a knee to pray for the victims that day. Their faces said what words could not.
Anytime, that the firefighters go out and work tremendously hard for a positive outcome only for it to be negative, it hurts.
New Hanover Captain Ben Bobzine was on other calls that day, but he helps lead the firefighter peer support group.
What we're trying to do is shed a light on it and show them it's okay not to be okay.
Every battle was an uphill one during the hurricane, and many in the department are using the group to work things out.
Knowing what those guys went through on scene on Mercer, it affects you. It'll affect them the rest of their lives. One way or another, it's going to affect them.
Unfortunately, this is all leadership can do. Federal law prevents them from referring people for mental care, something the fire chief says needs to change.
And I think it needs to be more aggressive. We need to be more aggressive at how we, one, provide self-care, peer counseling, referred care, all those things we can do to make sure that they're just as healthy mentally as they are physically.
And Chief Martinet is a familiar face for us. He was a chief in the city of Lynchburg before he came here to Wilmington, but he has dealt with a lot of trauma himself. He also worked in Oklahoma City during the bombings there, so he is very experienced in traumatic incidents. And he says training young people and all the people in fire service to focus on how they take care of themselves during traumatic incidents is just as important as training for the rest of the fire service, the PT and all the other things that go along with it. And now looking upcoming to this hurricane season, focusing on the training for traumatic incidents and how they will take care of themselves is how they're going to prepare for the upcoming season. Live in Wilmington, North Carolina, Shane Dwyer, 10 News, working for you.